preparedness equals confidence. In this video, I'm going to be talking to meeting planners and facilitators, those people who are actually leading meetings, whether big or small, on the actual gear and equipment that you're going to need in order to be really prepared and because of that, really successful. I'm going to actually walk you through some of the different bags that I take with me and the equipment that I have in them and how this can be added into your toolbox to be a better meeting facilitator, more present to create connected and collaborative meetings. Well, my name is Josh Freeberg, and I am a certified Xchange guide. And what that means is that we release wisdom, knowledge, and intelligence from groups, big and small, at speed and at scale. And I love doing this work. I think this is truly going to be one of the most important practices, skills, and industries moving forward as we learn what intelligence is and what it means to have innovation, have discovery, and to allow for full human flourishing. Now, to do that, we're going to have to become really great at facilitating groups and gatherings of people to create group genius. And to do that, we're going to need some stuff, right? The actual tools of the trade. And so what I'm going to do right now, I'm literally going to crack open one of my go bags. Actually, I've got two of them here that I'm going to share with you over the next few minutes. What I carry with me, and this is going to be very ad lib and impromptu. I'm just going to open this up and show you because this is literally going into my suitcase next week. Well, here we go. This go bag, this was given to me, a gift from the president of our local chapter of the National Speakers Association. And this has all the stuff that I know I'm going to need when I go on the road. Now, the first thing and most important is charging cables, right? Do you actually have the cables that you need? Are they all the appropriate ones? I've tried to move as much of my stuff as I can to USB-C, but occasionally I still do need some of the minis and the micros and all that, so I make sure those go in my bag as well. This is one of my new favorite ones. It actually has a double output, and then it's got both a USB-C and a USB-A adapter so that it can be plugged into lots of different things. I have my name tag here. I carry this kind of special one. Sometimes the event will give me a name tag, but I want to set myself apart a little bit as the expert in the room, and so I like to bring my own. Plus, this is like this wood background and the Xchange logo, so it just sort of fits who I am and what my personality is. Now, another fun one that I always like to make sure I have in my bag is this watch. And this is a plain Jane, Timex Expedition watch. These are as old as time. It's got the NATO watch band on it. And while in day-to-day life, I wear the Apple Watch, one of the things that I don't care for is that when I'm on stage, when I'm guiding an event, I'm getting buzzes, I'm getting alerts. And listen, I know I could put it in airplane mode, but what I really prefer is just have this analog watch so that there's no distractions, but that I can keep close time during the event of what's going on and are we on schedule or are we not. The other thing I like about, for me, the analog watch is I think it's important as facilitators to make sure that we're introducing an element of the human in the midst of a world that is marching more and more toward technology, towards digital, and sometimes at the expense of humanness. And I think humans are still designed to kind of go at a little bit more of an analog pace in certain areas. Certainly don't want you to think that I'm an anti-technology person. That's not it at all. And my focus is to make sure that we're introducing humanness into our events, that we're not just cranking out production, but that we're actually creating connection. And I feel like, for me at least, symbolically, an analog watch does that really well. Kind of a silly thing, I like these NATO watch bands because they're really easy to swap out. And so, brown belt, brown shoes, brown watch band, you know, black belt, black shoes, black watch band, whatever. I can change my personality with watch band at a moment's notice. So that's really fun for me. I also keep gaffer tape, or what's sometimes called duct tape, and I keep that in this flat pack format, super easy to travel with, and I've used that dozens and dozens of times at different events that I go on. In this little pouch is the infamous and always necessary clicker. Do make sure that it has the USB dongle, the attachment, the thumb drive that goes into the computer that you'll be using. This is Logitech. It's as basic as it gets. It works. It's a workhorse of the industry. Always bring your own clicker in case something goes wrong with the house one, and make sure that you remember to grab the thumb drive attachment when you leave your event, or sadly, you will be without a clicker the next time you get where you're going. All right, so there we go. That's one side of the bag. Let's look at what's going on the other side in here. In this zipper pouch is I always make sure that I've got all the different types of batteries that I might be using, whether that's AAAs or AA's. Before I wore rechargeable hearing aids, I always made sure that I had my hearing aid batteries in here. Any battery that you're using, make sure you have an extra. Make sure that you have an extra. All right, so what else is in here? The other thing I have in here is SD cards and micro SD cards for any recording that I might be doing. I won't show you my camera today, but if I'm bringing a camera or I'm going to be doing recording, that's a great place to have it. Also good to have an SD card if there is a videographer at the event and you say, oh my gosh, hey, that was a great video that I just did. Is there any way I could get a copy of that? They can frequently just send it to you like in a Dropbox, some sort of, you know, cloud-based file sharing, or you can hand them something like a USB drive, like an SD card, and get copies that way. All right, what else is in here? Love to have any kind of adapters, and so having USB adapters in here, SD card readers, micro SD card readers, these can be really valuable too. That's another way to get video from a videographer, is to say, hey, can I grab the SD card real quick, and then just download that onto my computer. The other thing that I really think is important is what happens when you get sick, right? You know the old theater saying, the show must go on. And so we need to find ways to manage any illness that we might have. Now, obviously, you don't want to put yourself in a place where you're going to be a danger to anyone else. So sometimes you have to make the choice to bring in a replacement or do something else. But when you're in that place where, hey, I can handle this, I can get through it, do you have the things that you can use to help manage that? Now, first and foremost, try to arrive early. Try not to have too stressful of a travel schedule moving into an event, and get lots of sleep. Make sure you're really managing your nutrition and hydration when you're going to an event. This is a great way to prevent illness, but what happens if you get sick anyway? This is where I like to make sure I've got like immune support teas, Gypsy Cold Care. I don't know what it is, but this one works. Throat coat tea is one of my favorites. I have a tendency to lose my voice when I get sick. Throat coat tea helps a lot. This Breathe Easy tea, as well as things like, you know, Pepto-Bismol, antidiarrheals, Benadryl if you get allergies. What are the things that you're going to need to keep your body moving? And then here's a funny one. You might be like, Josh, why do you have this in your bag? It is a hair tie. And these have come in handy so many times for binding up cords, for attaching microphones, like the clipped style microphones onto a handheld situation. Learned this from some videographers. Hair tie is a must. I also occasionally will throw in like zip ties. I find those to be valuable too. And then in the back of this bag, in this little Velcro pouch, is a wall adapter. And this is the fast charger that has both the PD and the IQ protocols in it. These are for super fast charging, and like can charge an entire iPhone in 15 minutes from 0 to 100. Make sure you have the proper compatible cords in order for this to work. And then the last one, I will frequently carry 2 of these at least, is a power bank. I think a 10,000 milliamp is the minimum for sure. If you're going to be using these, keep your phone charged, topped off during the day. Anything else that you need that is rechargeable, make sure it's got both USB-A and USB-C, and that you have the proper cords to go with it. So that is the first for me of the like must-have go bag for a facilitator. What's the equipment that you want to make sure you have? And I can't tell you the number of times, right, that people have been in a panic because there were no batteries. And I'll tell you, I found this. I was at an event. There was a real big time speaker and I who were doing a breakout together. And part of it was honestly driven by me wanting to, look good in front of this guy and not make any mistakes. And I realized that the clicker that we were going to be using, batteries were dead. No problem. I opened up my go bag. Guess what? Batteries were missing. And so I said, hey, I got to step out real quick during the coffee break that we were going to have. I went to the hotel lobby. Lo and behold, they didn't have batteries in their store. And we were in a weird downtown area where there weren't any like corner stores. I had to race 2 blocks over, went into a hotel. Sure enough, they did have batteries, and then was able to run back and got there in time. Though I did not look my best, probably out of breath and sweating, but we did get it all figured out in time. How much easier would it have been if I just reached over, had spare batteries, knew that I had spare batteries, and was able to just swap those out in a hurry? It's a great way to make sure that you are more comfortable and confident when you're at your event, when you have all the tools that you might need. Well, speaking of that, I want to share one other important bag that I carry with me. It's this heavy brick of a bag. It's actually like an old lav mic bag that I've repurposed. And let me show you what is in here. This is as low tech as it gets and as important as it gets. And it is Post-it notes and markers. Post-it notes and markers. That's right. I love both the like Crayola style, kids drawing markers. These are a great way for people to get creative and think in bright colors and to play a little bit more, get more artistic. And then, of course, just regular old Sharpies if people are needing to write things down. Well, what's the benefit of like a Sharpie? If we combine the Sharpie with the Post-it note, it creates a limitation. It creates a limitation, which is that, a 3x3 Post-it note's not very big, and a Sharpie writes with kind of a heavy writing. When we give this limitation, it forces people to put big ideas as succinctly and simply as possible. We don't have to tell somebody not to write 30 words when all we hand them is a 3x3 Post-it note. Or maybe we just want to invite people to write one really important word. Hey, give them one of these little 1x2 Post-it notes. These are great, and I have all different sizes all the way up to 6x8 Post-it notes in here. Usually I'll take this if I'm going to be working with a room of 30 or less, and if I need more, then I'll work with the host to make sure we have enough Post-it notes or like the flip chart posters to use as well. And then for fun, I grabbed a whole bunch of these cool like emoji Post-it notes. These are a great way for people to add some conversation, some visuals, lots of different shapes of hearts and stars that we can add in to the conversation as well. These are a great way that these Post-it notes that may seem silly, but often like the bright color, the constraint of the small size together with the large marker, the ability to be creative with our ideas and introduce play into it actually facilitates some really big ideas being created. It facilitates people being able to share more freely and openly, and get our best ideas out on paper and out together where the whole group can work on them. Hey, we're going to talk more about facilitation on this channel, and I'd love to hear from you. What is one must-have piece of gear or equipment that you take when you are traveling to facilitate or guide a meeting? I'd love for you to put that in the comments down below. And if you'd like to hear more about how to create connected and collaborative gatherings, please like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.